Testing.
Hello, everyone. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on this lovely Sunday afternoon. We have a great program for you, and we are so excited to be celebrating Earth Day this day. We know how important our climate is, and we are so glad that you think it's important too. We have a very great schedule. We have great music, which is what you're here for. And we are so excited to get this rolling. As you know, there are refreshments and snacks downstairs, so feel free to go after or even take breaks throughout to replenish yourselves. And if you have any questions or concerns, staff members are designated with these wooden name tags. And let's get this started. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jada. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. My name is Liz Loeb. I use she and her pronouns. I'm the Associate Director of Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light. This is my kid, Lyra. Right now, she uses she and her pronouns, but she gets to change that as she grows and comes into herself if she wants. And
good afternoon. My name is Reverend Arif Mamdani. I'm one of the ministers here at First Universalist Church. I am also a board member of Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light, and I am here this afternoon to do whatever Liz tells me to do to help us have an awesome afternoon. So I want to start by welcoming you and thanking you for being here. I also want to thank you to First Universalist Church for hosting us today. Yes, thank you, First Universalist Church. And last but certainly not least, I want to invite you all to wave to everyone who is with us on Zoom today. Hi, everybody out in Zoom land. We're really happy that you're here with us, virtually, if not in the sanctuary. Can I trade you? You can trade. Okay. You can keep the baby.
so we are being joined by folks all over the state and all over the country on the Zoom live stream, which is amazing. So I hope you can feel the folks here in the room with you and the folks who are here online. I have been waiting so long to use my child as a prop in a social movement context. Thank you for witnessing this with me. I mean, there are other reasons I became a parent, but this is one of them. So, Lyra is 10 months old, and with her existence, working towards climate justice has become non-negotiable to me in a new way. And I learn from being her parent every day that when we care for one another in community, when we come together in community, we can do amazing things. Thanks. I love this. Thank you for clapping. Lyra likes it. And so together, we are building a just and thriving future for this planet. And I'm here to tell you that to do that, we need to know that racial justice and climate justice, that working towards Native sovereignty and climate justice are inextricably linked. The same worldview that believes we can mine fossil fuels for profit at the expense of our planet also believes that we can live on stolen land and somehow continue to perpetuate structural racism. And when we change that, when we listen to one another, when we work as a multiracial and multi-faith movement following the lead of the communities of color and Native communities who have been on the front lines for generations, we change what's possible. We create a world of liberation. And today, we're going to sing some of that liberation into being. And so with that, I am so excited to introduce Serena Partridge and the Wild Voice Chorus. And Serena, I'll let you say more about you and the chorus, but Serena is a song leader with MNIPL. She's one of the most spectacular humans I know. Thank you for bringing art and music into everything we do. Did I forget anything, Arif? And I'm thinking we might need 2 rainbows if we're kind of around this. Okay. Why don't you figure out where you want to be in 2 rainbows while I say a little spiel. Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be with you all. My name is Serena. I use she and her. And I am a song leader with Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light, which is a real job. Amazing. And I love to think about how when we sing in community, we're practicing so many of the skills that we need to show up for this transformative moment. We're listening to each other. We're being vulnerable in public. We're learning. We're having fun. And we're finding outlets to really express ourselves. So I'm so pumped. This is a piece of a community choir I started called Wild Voice Chorus. We're going to share a few songs we've been working on this season, and then we're going to sing a song with you that you'll all be a part of. So this first song, I'll just introduce them all now so we can just boom, boom, boom. This first song was inspired by the return of the ruby-throated hummingbirds. Get ready, it's coming. And the second song is a Bulgarian folk song about grandma eating 9 barrels of lentils. No comment. The third song is about the moment right around now when the oak trees let go of last year's leaves for the new ones to begin to grow. And then our fourth song that we'll sing with you all is about all the gratitude that we feel rolling in and out of us when we get to be together. So this is Wild Voice Chorus. Give it up.
So do the middle 2 part 2 times. Welcome home. Sing me a story of where you've been. You are the story. We are the story. Welcome home. Sing me a story of where you've been. You are the story. We are the story. Welcome home. Welcome home. Sing me a story of where you've been. You are the story. We are the story. Welcome home. Sing me a story of where you've been. You are the story. We are the story. Welcome home. Sing me a story of where you've been. You are the story. We are the story for you.
Have a quick daydream.
Isku sala baba deve roki leshta. Isku sala baba deve roki leshta. Len pipero, kazlaro, kazlaitaro, kazlaro, kazlaitaro, kazlaikitia. Len pipero, kazlaro, kazlaitaro, kazlaro, kazlaitaro, kazlaikitia. Limma, limma. to balance, held here in the in-between, ever turning. Call me back, I am listening. Let the song of the waking leaves on the oak trees call me back to balance, held here in the in-between, ever turning. Call me back, I am listening. Song of the waking leaves on the oak trees. Call me back to balance. Held here in the in-between, ever turning. Call me back, I am listening. Let the song of the waking leaves on the oak tree call me back to balance. Held here in the in-between, ever turning. Call me back, I am listening. Let the song of the waking leaves on the oak tree call me back to balance. I feel it rolling out from me. Oh, oh, oh. I feel it rolling into me. Oh, oh.
So now it's your turn. Here are the words. We're going to practice them. Oh. Nailed it. I feel it rolling out from me. I feel it rolling out from me. Oh. I feel it rolling into me. I feel it rolling into me. That's it. So let's do my turn, your turn, okay? And you can be the your turn. We got some ringers. That's always nice. Oh, I feel it rolling out from me. Let's try that together. Oh, I feel it rolling out from me. Nice. Oh, oh, try that. Oh, oh. And then it's the same, but into me. Let's try to sing it together. Oh, I feel it rolling into me. And then the O's. Oh, oh, again. Oh, I feel it rolling out from me. Oh, 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 I feel it rolling into me. Oh,
Oh my goodness, thank you to Serena and the wild voice. Chorus, that was amazing. I forgot to thank our sponsors when I was up here last. There are a whole bunch of congregations and individuals and communities who made it possible for us to have this concert today. They are part of why we can say anyone who wants to join is welcome to come. You don't need to buy a ticket. But for folks who did, and for folks who invested in MNIPL, thank you so much. And thank you to our sponsors. Yeah, woohoo. I have the profound pleasure of introducing my friend and MNIPL board co-chair, Jim Bear Jacobs. Jim Bear is one of the co-directors of, what is your title at the Council of Churches? I should know this. Co-director for Racial Justice at the Minnesota Council of Churches. Jim Bear is also a force of nature, a healer and a tender, and someone I am every day, a storyteller, one of the founders of Healing Minnesota Stories. I'm a little nervous, y'all. Knowing Jim Bear makes my life better every day, and your work makes the world better. Thank you for coming here and talking to us.
Thank you, Liz. Again, thank you to the choir that preceded me. You all don't know how professional they were, because what you couldn't see, that only the choir could see, is that they had an extra couple of directors seated up in the balcony there. And you did not know that you could headbang to a Bulgarian folk song, but they proved that you could. I guess legally I'm required to claim that they are my children. It's very good to be with you here. If you'll allow me a moment to formally introduce myself. Aho kunamante ni jinji makwa, Jim Bear Jacobs. Ni tak delangamau, ni mexicanu, and nakako satowa kunamante, nishik wewenet. I give you greetings and introduce myself as Bear, or Jim Bear Jacobs. I'm from the Turtle Clan. I'm a citizen of the Stockbridge Munsee Mohican Nation, and with goodness in my heart, I extend my gratitude to all of you who have gathered on this beautiful day. I mean, it's hard to say a beautiful day when it's like in the 40s, a week after we were in the 80s, but we can call it a beautiful day. As Liz mentioned, I am the co-chair for the board of directors for Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light. And as I was asked to say a few words here this afternoon, I was reflecting on what originally drew me to work with Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light. As you know, there is no shortage of environmental justice organizations that we could give our energy and our time to. Especially here in the Twin Cities, it's you can't go 15 feet without finding someone else who's dedicated to environmental justice. And let me tell you what, for me, distinguished MNIPL over and above other organizations that I could have pledged my time to. So, Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light is dedicated to sitting with and learning from Indigenous leadership. Now, Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light is not the only organization that says that they sit with and learn from Indigenous leaders. But let me tell you how most organizations go about this. Most organizations will build a platform, get all their ducks in a row, and then they'll look for an Indigenous spokesperson to just, give voice and credibility to that platform. And can I tell you, as an Indigenous person who has been approached by a handful of organizations to say, will you sign off on this? That's really annoying. Because at no point in the process was my perspective valued, at no point was my voice considered, except at the very end when they say, hey, we just want to use your name and your title to advance our agenda. And what Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light, and particularly in conversations with Julia and Liz and a number of staff, what drew me is that they were interested in building relationships before building agendas. And they were interested in building those foundational relationships that lead to trust before we ever began to build platforms and policy tactics. And that's very important, because it means that my voice as an Indigenous person matters. And it means that rather than building momentum around causes, rather instead we are building a movement. You see, causes are built by moments. There's moments that rally people, bring support, and a cause is built. But a movement is built by people. A movement is built by relationships. And there have been a number of times in my work with MNIPL in which we have strategized, we have considered best practices in moving agendas and policy and practices forward. And at some point in this, we say, well, we have to consult our wealth of Indigenous leaders on this. We need to bring them in on the front end. And one of the things I have heard in a number of board meetings and staff meetings that we have had is this will only move at the speed of relationships. Think about that. Because in this movement, I mean, it seems like we are always up against the clock. There is always some legislative deadline we have to meet. There is always something for which we need to panic and we need to move quickly. But if you've spent any time in Indian country, you know we don't really give a crap about your legislative timelines and straight line chronological time thinking ways. Come to us with relationship. Let's work out trust. And then let's see what kind of future we can build together. And that's why I have committed my time, my effort, my energies to Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light, because it's one of those organizations, and I say this with all respect and all humility, it's one of those organizations that recognizes the colonial influences within our own system and works actively to try and undo it. And as an Indigenous person, I'm happy, I'm proud to be a part of this organization, to help lead this organization into the future, to plant those seeds of change now so we can watch them bloom into a beautiful tomorrow. Anishik Wewenet, thank you very much.
Oh, friends, that That was amazing to receive. Also, Jim Bear's kids really are on the balcony doing the most. You two are awesome. I want to be you when I grow up. I get to introduce MJ Gilbert. MJ is somebody who breathes music. She is a leader in Jewish community and in communities of social justice. She is my friend. I could say so much about the beauty that MJ brings to the world, and I'm excited for you to experience it through her music. MJ, do you want to play us some songs? Yeah. And just so you know, MJ's going to play music. Then Arif and I are going to come back up here. We're going to show you a little video. We're going to talk about giving money. MJ's going to play more songs. And then around 4:30-ish, we'll go back downstairs for some more snacks and drinks and fellowship. Sounds good? So good.
Hello. Let's commence to coordinate our sights. Get them square to rights. Get them square to rights. Condescend to calmest riot in your mind. Find yourself in time. Find yourself in time. I'm waiting, should I be waiting? And I'm wanting, should I be wanting? It's all around me. It's all around me. Document the world inside your skin. The tenure of your sins. The timber of your limbs. Now commence to carry each brick apart. To center on your heart. Starting with your heart, bright heart. I'm waiting, should I be waiting? And I'm wanting, should I be wanting? And all around me, it's all around me. It's all around me. It's all around me. It's all around me. Oh, I'm waiting. Should I be waiting? Yes, I'm wanting. Should I be wanting? Oh, I'm hopeful. Should I be hopeful? It's all around me. It's all around me. It's the sunlight. It's the shadow. the word. It's the beating heart. It's the ocean. It's the voice. It's you, my sweet love. Oh, my love. And the lights, bright lights. And the lights, bright lights, bright lights, bright lights. It's all around me. It's all around me. It's all around me. It's all around me. Yeah. It's all around me. Hi, I'm MJ, she and her pronouns. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for supporting Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light. I'm going to sing you some songs, and the story that I have in my head for these songs today is, in the language of my people, Shirim La'olam Haba, songs for the world to come. Loving the world and wanting to protect it and wanting it to be a just place is a thing that can easily lead one to despair. As we note that it is our fate to live in a time when a lot of the containers, a lot of the institutions, a lot of the ways of community forming itself are falling away. For better or for worse, depending on how well they have protected us and kept us comfortable. But we're entering a period of big change, and while recognizing that a lot of things are crumbling away, I think the things that we bring as communities of faith, whether that faith is in a personal deity or in the power of community, or if you are Earthseed and believe that God is change, or if you just believe in the revolution, that what we bring to this struggle is a knowledge of the long game, right? This culture thinks that like 50 years is a long time, and what a joke that is for those of us who ascribe to a culture that is a couple thousand years old, that is 4,000 years old, that is 10,000 years old, that is deeply rooted in the land on which we stand and embedded in love of that. So these are songs that either are, I hope, are about or somehow take place in the world that I hope and deeply believe that we are creating out of the ashes of the one that is dying around us, and that we get trapped not in nostalgia for what one was, but hope for what it is that we are building together. Occasionally, you will have to kind of squint to see what that connection is, because there's some songs that I'm going to sing to you just because I love to sing them. But I'll make that connection. This is a Leonard Cohen song. By the way, I'm mostly going to sing songs that I didn't write. I'm going to sing one song for you that I did write, but I like to collect and curate just songs that I love. So. gather up the brokenness and bring it to me now. The fragrance of those promises you never dared to vow. The splinters that you carried, the chains you left behind, come healing of the body, come healing of the mind, and let the heavens hear it, the penitential hymn, come healing of the spirit, come healing of the wind. Behold the gates of mercy in arbitrary space, and none of us deserving the cruelty or the grace. Oh, solitude of longing, where love has been confined, come healing of the body, come healing of the mind. Oh, see the darkness healing, the tore the light apart, come healing of the reason, come healing of the heart. Troubled dust concealing an undivided love, the heart beneath is teaching to the broken heart above. And let the heavens falter, and let the earth proclaim, come healing of the altar, come healing of the name. Longing of the branches to lift the little bud, or longing of the arteries to purify the blood, and let the heavens hear it, the penitential hymn, come healing of the spirit, come healing of the limb. Oh, let the heavens hear it, the penitential hymn, come healing of the spirit, come healing of the limb. I believe deeply that healing is fractal, that where it happens on the tiniest, most intimate level, when it happens in our hearts, when we knit together the pieces of its brokenness from trauma, personal or generational, when we heal our relationships, when we heal our families, when we heal our communities, when we heal our systems of government, when we heal our nations, when we heal the earth itself, all of this rolls back in and on itself. I was all set last Sunday. I was all set for this. I had like my set list, all my word sheets, because at my age I can't remember words anymore. And then the goddess of the algorithm landed on my head as I was running on Sunday and showed me a song, which I'm going to take a stab at for you. This is a Fleet Foxes song. I was raised up believing I was somehow unique, like a snowflake, distinct among snowflakes, unique in each way you can see. But now don't need to be kind to the armies of night that would do such injustice to you. Or bow down and be grateful and say, sure, take all that you see. To the men who move only in dimly lit halls and determine my future for me. And I don't know who to believe. I'll get back to you someday soon. You will see. If I only know one thing, it's that everything that I see of the world outside is so inconceivable. Often I barely can speak. Yeah, I'm tongue-tied and dizzy, and I can't keep it to myself. What good is it to sing helplessness blues? Why should I wait for anyone else? And I know you'll keep me on the shelf. I'll come back to you someday soon myself. But I don't know what that will be. I'll get back to you someday soon. You will see. Oh my. I did not know if I had that one in me. I trust my voice teacher. This is a Bon Iver song. And it being a Bon Iver song, I don't consider myself half smart enough to really be sure what it's about. Because Justin is smarter than all of us. Well, maybe not Liz. But what I think it's about, what it's about for me, is about how the larger project of healing involves getting out of our own ways, of recognizing the ways in which, I'll use I language. I'm a social worker. I'm gonna use I language. The ways in which I find the siren call of my own pain compelling, and how there is an addictive quality to it that I need to check myself on and learn how to overcome. Must have been forces that took me on them wild courses. Who knows how many poses that I've been in, but then remain closest. Heart it gives me mine. Can I really post this? I'll flee the signs. I worry about rain, and I worry about lightning, but I watch them off till light in the morning. Walking the slope, slung the road in the highlands, where the days have no numbers. If it's harm me, it's harm me, it's harm me, I'll let it in. Oh, the old notice, how to be leading life. So come the old ponies to knit to
stride. A word about gnosis. It ain't gonna buy groceries from middle out locusts. A way to find. I hurry about shame, and I worry about one path, but I wander off just to come back home, turning to waltz, hold high in the lowlands, 'cause the days have no numbers. Oh, it harms me, it harms me, it harms me like a lion. So I can't depose this, partial to the bleeding vines. Suppose you can't hold this, how I've been. What I really don't know is to climb out and heat a line, to slow among roses or stay behind. I've been to that grove where no matter what the source is, and I walked it off. How long I last, so indigo, whole band in the canyon where the days have no numbers. Oh, it harms me, it harms me, it harms me, I let it in. Got a capo here somewhere. Oh, it'll turn up. Truthfully, oh, yes, my capo did turn up on my bouzouki. By the way, this Irish bouzouki. So if you want to, if you come up to me afterwards and say, "What was that guitar that you were playing?" and I will tell you it's an Irish bouzouki. I won't mind. I'll say it. Say again. It's got 8 strings, so it's sort of like a mandolin. It's very similar to an octave mandolin. This was a lockdown find for me. I don't know how you spent your lockdown, but I spent mine staying up late at night cruising the internet for weird musical instruments. Several of which I bought and did not work out well, and then I bought this one and it kind of changed my life. Oh, the other thing I did during lockdown is learn how to make my own finger picks, which, I mean, just take my word for it. It's odd. But it's why they're purple, in case you were wondering. Okay, so honestly, mostly the reason I'm singing this song is for the love of Liz Loeb. It's a Waterboy song, and for me, it's really about, like, you know, sometimes you know somebody in your life who is like on fire and glows so bright and so hard. Again, Liz Loeb. pictured a rainbow. You held it in your hand. I had flashes. You saw the plan. I wandered out in the world for years. You just stayed in your room. I saw the crescent. You saw the whole of the moon. The whole of the moon. You were there at the turnstiles with the wind at your heels. You stretched for the stars and you know how it feels to reach too high, too far, too soon. You saw the whole of the moon. I was grounded. While you filled the skies, I was dumbfounded by truth. You cut through lies, I saw the rain-dirty valley. You saw Brigadoon, I saw the crescent. You saw the whole of the moon, the whole of the moon. You spoke about wings. You just flew. I wondered, I guessed, and I tried. You just knew. I sighed. You swooned. I saw the crescent. You saw the whole of the moon. The whole of the moon. With a torch in your pocket and the wind at your heels, you climbed up the ladder and you know how it feels to reach too high, too far, too soon. You saw the whole of the moon, the whole of the moon. Unicorns and cannonballs, palaces and piers, trumpets, wide towers, tenements, wide oceans full of tears, flags, rags, ferry boats, scimitars and stars, every precious dream and vision underneath the stars. Oh, you climbed on the ladder with the wind at your sails. You came like a comet, blazing your trail. Too high, too far, too soon. You saw the whole of the moon. The whole of the moon. Thank you. I'm going to take a little break, and then you're going to get a slideshow. And again, in one of the languages of my people, you're going to get schnorred, which means a fundraising appeal is going to be made. I will let you know I am a sustainer of Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light. I'm not like, you know, a rich sustainer, right? A semi-retired social worker. But the little bit that I give every month in and out without thinking about it, without knowing about it, provides a secure base for this work. And I invite you to open your hearts to this work. I invite you to open your pocketbooks to this work. And I invite you to do so in a way that sustains this work so that it can sustain us. I'll be back.
Oh, wow. 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 Just take that in for a moment. And y'all, that wasn't even the official ask. But as MJ very appropriately pointed out, we are here to raise some money today. And I know that since 2020, there's an interesting thing that started to happen, which was that people would leave early. So if you are one of those people, so first of all, I should say, we do not want you to leave early. We want to hang out with you after this down in the social hall over a beverage and some brownies or cookies or gluten-free treats. We have all of those things. So please hang out so that we can build relationships, so that we can get to know you and get to know the wonderful folks that are here as part of this Songs Are Seeds benefit concert. I have like two more things that I need to be sure to say. Thing number one is I want to invite you all to join me in saying thank you to the absolutely amazing environmental justice team of First Universalist Church who led a service this morning and then came back to help set up the space. That's the thing number one. Huge thank you to you all. Do you have anything? Or can I just? Okay. So, little quiz for you all. Who here is not very familiar with Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light? Don't be shy. You know, you can raise your hands. Excellent. Excellent. I'm super happy to see that because I get to turn your attention now to the screen's walls on either side of me, where we are going to share a short little video on the basically the highlights of this last year or so at Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light.
When it comes to climate, every day matters. When it comes to repairing our relationships with each other, with the land, every day matters. We have an amazing opportunity right now that we did not know we were going to have a year ago.
This isn't just about our energy systems, but it's about our land, our water, and our communities. Capturing carbon from still running fossil fuel plants and piping it underground so it can push out more oil to burn is not going to get us there. New gas plants are not going to get us there. Burning biomass is not going to get us there. But real climate solutions are also real community solutions.
We're here to talk about our future. Climate justice is something that we worry about every day, and I'm very grateful when I look out into this crowd and see all of you working so hard to share your stories and to share what matters to you. We've recently passed the 100% bill, and now we need to invest in this transition, that we should be putting solar on every school, not just a few. We should make sure everyone has access to these better futures, where renewable energy powers our lives, where communities make the decisions about their own environments, and where we participate in the economic benefits of this energy revolution.
Won't let green win this time. Too much is on the line. So green, listen up. Your days are numbered.
I really love that graphic at the end so much, with a little earth hug. We are here to be in community, to experience some beautiful music, and to take action. Oh, and to invest in Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light, but we'll get to that. This is the take action part. I am so glad to invite Sarah Wolf, who is the Senior Policy Strategist for Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light, and one of the most effective legislative advocates who I have ever met. She's going to talk to us about an action we can all take today together to make a difference.
What an amazing opportunity to be in the middle of the legislative session and to have an Earth Day happen with this amazing community in front of me. It's really perfect timing. A lot has changed this last year. And for someone who's interested in public policy, I would like to say that I've had renewed hope in the last year, federally and from what we're doing at a state level. And it's really life-changing for me. But I want to tell you why policy is critically important, and then ask you to use your critically important voice to support that policy in this moment that we're in right now. Policy is how we take the individual actions and values we have to scale. Many of you will remember back in 2007, something called the Next Energy Climate Act. Yeah, thank you, like Next Generation Climate Act, perfect. And what it was saying, you know what, we're not sure how we're gonna get there, but we know we need to clean our electricity grid. So we are going to do this bipartisan bill. Governor Pawlenty was governor at the time, and we're going to say that we're going to try to get to 25% of our electricity generation will be renewable by the year 2025. And I want to stress, no one knew how they were going to get there, but they were really willing to invest in that vision for their future. And you know what happened? We got there 7 years early. Woo! But we know 25% is not enough, and so what have we been doing? We've been going to our new goal of 100%, and you have been active in that all along, and what did we do? We passed that in January, the 100% carbon-free electricity bill. Absolutely, woo! Saying that our state is going to have clean electricity by the year 2040. And you know what we need to do? We need to get to that deadline early, too. We can't stop now. This policy is what we need. It's the foundation. And now we need to fund that transition so that we can be sure it is not only happening at the scale we need and at the pace we need, but that it is being invested where we need it, in our environmental justice areas, in our small businesses, in our farms, in every single part of the state. We need to fund this transition. So the thing I'm coming to you with today is we are in this place of having passed the 100% bill, and now we need to fund this transition. And there are a lot of good funding pieces that are moving forward, and that is all really wonderful. But what happens if we don't have a surplus of $17 billion in the next biennium? What happens if the conditions change? We need to have a structural system that creates the ecosystem of funding this transition that can be propelled forward. And that is what Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light and communities and many of your congregations have been working towards. A structural change. It's called the Minnesota Climate Innovation Finance Authority. Woo! All right. And if you've heard about green banks in other states, that's the idea we have here. And what it does is it says we're going to take a small amount of seed money and we're going to use that to attract other finance so that we can create an accelerated way of getting to scale focused on the projects that aren't being funded now, focused on our communities that might have lower incomes, focused on small businesses, focused on farms and towns and all the places where we're not seeing it now. We've done amazing work. You're going to hear from Patricia in a moment and Hubentino and such wonderful partners through this process. But we are at this place of needing to get strong investment in the Minnesota Climate Innovation Finance Authority, and this is where you come in. We have postcards downstairs. We have pages with numbers on them. We need you to use your voice to create this policy and fund it at the strongest level possible. We're looking for $45 million because what we know is that is going to be multiplied to become billions of dollars of transition across the state. So it's a critical moment for this. We have these postcards downstairs. I'm going to ask you to fill those out. And I will also just ask if you happen to be a constituent of Senator Bobby Champion, Senator Fong He, Senator Nick Frentz, Representative Patty Acom, Representative Rick Hansen, or Representative Hodan Hassan, come talk to me afterwards. Conference committees are going to be happening soon, and a lot of decisions are going to be made. We're really excited about this. This is a great next step for funding the transition we need. And I just want to say we can do this, and we are going to do this, and it's going to be great because, as someone in the video said, when we take climate action, we're taking action for our communities. Thank you so much.
I work with the best people. So to be clear, there are postcards downstairs at the welcome table, and if all of us today signed and sent a postcard, that would send a clear and powerful message to the legislature about the type of support that's behind community funding of climate justice projects. Yes? Yes? Yes. In a moment, I am going to invite up former State Senator Patricia Torres-Rey, a leader and a stalwart and somebody who has given so much to our communities, La Senadora, the first Latina state senator in Minnesota. And before she comes up, I want to tell you, she's going to ask you to give money to MNIPL. I'm sure that you are all shocked and surprised that that might be true. You had no warning, didn't know what would happen. And I want to say two things. The first is, we live under a system of capitalism that is unjust and sometimes violent, which means not all of us are able to give financial resources. That is okay. There are so many ways we show up for this movement, but if you are able to give, we want to talk to you right now. The second thing I want to let you know is how you can invest in MNIPL with a contribution. You can use this QR code. You can go to our website, www.mnipl.org/donate, or you can use an envelope that we have right here to give cash, a check, with your credit card. And if you look in the back of the room, Claire Sarathakis is holding a basket and envelopes. You can go see Claire and give her your envelope with your gift or talk to her about how to give. Or if you need help with the QR code, Claire is your person. So everybody say, hi, Claire. Hi, Claire. And she'll be here and back and then at the welcome table down in the atrium. So we're good on the how? Yes. Now I'm going to introduce the incomparable former Senator Patricia Torres-Rey, who now works as a legislative leader and advocate and is so fantastically the leader of MNIPL's legislative strategy and advocacy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You're here on a Sunday afternoon, spending your time with us. But I think we gave you some beautiful music. Thank you. And I have to tell you that something very important happened to me at the end of December. I actually decided after 16 years of being in the Minnesota Senate that I was not going to run for office. And in December, Julia Nerbonne called me and she said, Patricia, would you like to do our legislative affairs? After I have said I am not going to go back to the legislature. I am just not going to do this work anymore. And I could tell you a lot of reasons for why I made the decision. And so I said, Julia, you want me to do your legislative affairs, so what's the plan? Oh, she said, I need $250 million to invest in schools all over the state of Minnesota so they can have solar power. And I also need $90 million in order to create Mensifa, this green bank. And I also would like to, we're partnering with Native communities to increase the industry of hemp so that we can make fabric out of hemp and have Native communities thrive and have business in hemp. And we also would like to make sure that Winona LaDuke has a museum up north to celebrate the work of the water protectors. And we also, and she went on in this list. And it was about $1 billion. And I said, well, session is starting next week, Julia. So how much is my contract? Oh, she said, we have little money, sorry, we're a very small nonprofit. I said, well, I'm in. Because I have known Julia for so many years, and she was the one who told me when I ran for office that I had zero money in my account, and I wanted to run for the Minnesota Senate. And she said to me, I want to run your campaign. And I got elected and became the first Latina elected to the Minnesota Senate. So I had to say to Julia Nerbonne that we were going to do this work, and of course, that I will accept this job and do it with her. And I have good news for you. We have made a lot of progress. But what has been very difficult for me to encounter now that I'm in the other side and I am not a state senator is the amount of work that needs to go into making these things happen. These are the right things to do. Having all the schools in rural Minnesota have solar power is the right thing to do. Making sure that we have Mensifa, which is this finance authority available to do projects in small communities that are just simply not going to be funded by the private sector, is the right thing to do. To expand the hemp industry in Minnesota, to make sure that we have Native communities participating in a market that is thriving all over the world, is the right thing to do. To have a museum that celebrates the work of water protectors is the right thing to do. So I am here to ask you to please contribute to that work and make sure that they have the necessary resources to do this lobbying. Jim was correct to say that this is hard work and that we get impatient about it. But we have 3 months to accomplish this policy, and we have to put so much energy and resources into this. I was coming this morning and I was going to do my contribution, and I thought, I'm going to wait because I have to ask. So I would like to ask if you would like to match my contribution of $250. I am going to make that contribution right now. And I would like to ask if I have 10 people in the audience right now that could join me in making a contribution of $250. Is that possible for you? Okay, thank you so much. If I could get 10 people to match my contribution, at the very least, I will feel a little bit better about the contract that I have with IPL. because you know, they have made a commitment to pay for my time at the legislature. If you cannot make a $250 contribution, is it possible for you to make a $100 contribution today? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Perhaps a $50 contribution is easier? Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Please make sure that I think the easiest thing to do, which is what I'm going to do, is put it in my credit card. And so using this code would be the best way to go. But I also would like to know if you could call a friend. And maybe I need all your hands up. Could you do that? Could you call a friend? Could you call a friend today or in the next few days and introduce them to IPL? Let them know about the importance of their work. And please join us. If you are new to IPL, which I understand there are some people who are new to the organization, please become a member. Follow us. Follow our work. Give us advice. Give us your wisdom about how we can do this work better, how we can be more diverse, how we can really expand our voices, our strength, not just at the legislature, but building this movement that is about environmental justice, that is about inclusion, that is about protecting our planet and making sure that our children will have access to these resources, to clean water, to clean air and soil that will produce these beautiful resources that we need for future generations. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I hope you can join us in supporting the work of IPL at the legislature this year, next year, and the next 20 years. I hope we're doing this together for not only this generation, for the next generation. Thank you very much.
Everyone, oi, I'm making happy sounds. Now I get to invite MJ back up to play. MJ is going to play for about 15 to 20 more minutes, and then we will go downstairs and have some snacks and drinks and time together. I can't thank you all enough for being here. It is a joy and a pleasure, and I'm so glad we get to listen to some more music together. So with that, MJ.
So I prepared about 3 hours worth of set, apparently. I'll meet you on the stairs. And I think I'll spend the 15 to 18 minutes I have left tuning. One thing I know for sure is that the culture and the structures that don't care about the earth, that seek to make invisible and annihilate poor people and disabled people and indigenous people and black and brown people and trans and gender non-conforming people are not going to go away unless we do our work together in community. So I'm going to sing you a song by Ezra Furman. Glam, Jewish trans glam punk goddess Ezra Furman. I want there to be a book of our names, none of us missing, none quite the same, none of us ashes, all of us flames, and I want us to read it aloud. And I wanted to tell of our exile here in the cruel machinery, our bodies between the gears, and our world back home, just a ghost of a prayer. And I want us
I want there to be a book of our names, none of us missing, not quite the same, none of us ashes, all of us flames, and I want and I want us to read it aloud. And I want us to read it aloud. And I want us to read it aloud. This song emerges from an event that happened to me many, many years ago, but didn't emerge as a song until during the pandemic, when I had time to think about things. A little over 30 years ago, I was on the North Shore with some dear friends. Hi, Debbie. And I was hiking down the frozen gorge of the Cascade River, which, if this is a thing that you have never thought of doing, it is a thing that you can do and a thing that I strongly encourage. I was alone, hiking down this as the walls of the gorge rose above me, and I had this moment of like seeing how the forces of time and change and water had worn away the parts of the stone that were not strong enough to sustain it. And around me, I saw the ways in which the water had shaped the ice in a way that was so parallel to the ways that time had shaped the stone, while hearing and feeling the rush of that water, the rush of that change underneath my feet. And I understood how I had been shaped and changed similarly. And the thing that I know for sure is that as change happens, as things wear away, that hopefully we are like that block of marble that Michelangelo faced and saw the vision of the perfect thing living inside of us. And that all the parts that we don't need, all the parts that are pain, all the parts that are garbage, all the parts that are made up of the voices that we have been heard all our lives that tell us that we are no good, that they wear away, and that what remains is beautiful. Well, I realized that day that everything melts away. Some things faster, some things slow. Some made of ice, some of dolomite, some made of flesh and bone. At the end of the day, the end of the season, at the end of the age, the only thing that remains is the essential. Oh, well, I noticed today that the details fade away. Some memories, they come and go. Some of it misery, some of it ecstasy, some of it was just hollow. And at the end of the day, the end of the season, at the end of the age, the only thing that remains is the essential. Well, I'm thinking about tomorrow, that all my hopes bear down. Some aspirations just float away. Some of it illusion, some of it delusion, some of it I gift to another day. And at the end of the day, the end of the season, at the end of the age, the only thing that remains is the essential. Okay, I was trying to think of how am I going to connect this one to the theme. Thank you. You know, in the communities that we are going to build, in the world that we are going to build, if there is not time for us to raise a glass together, for us to drink and for us to sing an old Irish drinking song, well then I'm not sure that that's a world that I want to live in. I need your help with this one. There on the chorus, there's a place where you can, I'd either like you to clap 4 times or pound your feet 4 times. And I will tell you, I was taught this song by Scottish people, and what they do in this moment is sing, "Right up your kilt." So if you want to sing "Right up your kilt" in bad Scottish accent, you're more than welcome to do so. I've been a wild rover for many a year, and I spent all me money on whiskey and beer. And now I'm returning with gold in great store, and I promise I'll play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. I went to an alehouse I used to frequent, and I told the landlady me money's all spent. I asked her for whiskey, she answered me nay. Sure, a custom like yours I could get any day. And it's no, nay, never, right up your kilt, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. I'll go home to me parents, confess what I've done, and ask them to pardon their prodigal person. And if they forgive me like oft times before, then I promise I'll play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover, no, never, no more. 2 more. I have never been accused of not having a lot of songs in my repertoire that seem to be about death. This, I think, is a happy song about death, but it is a song about death. It's Pete Seeger's song. Pete Seeger invented song leading. To my old brown earth and to my old blue sky, I too give these last few molecules of I. And you who sing, and you who stand nearby, I do charge you not to cry. Guard well our human chain, watch well you keep it strong, as long as sun will shine. And this our home, keep pure and sweet and green, for now I'm yours, and you are also mine. Okay, I'm going to finish with this, and I would like you to help me with it. This is a song by a band called Osibisa, which is a British Ghanaian band. And here are the words. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We'll know we're there. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard, we know. And the road will be muddy and rough. But we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. Okay, I'm not going to quiz you on those words, but they're going to come back over and over again. We are going, heaven knows where we are going. We'll know we're there, we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. Let's try that again. We are going, heaven knows where we are going. We'll know we're there, we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We'll know we're there. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will.
in the songster. I love my Unitarian Universalists. What page? 1020 in the blue. No excuses. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We'll know we're there. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. Thank you. I'll see you there.
Can you all join me in saying thank you again to MJ? Thank you all so much for coming out this afternoon, for being part of this afternoon of song and imagination, possibility, and raising some money for the important work of Minnesota Interfaith Power and Light. We would absolutely love it if you all would, as you are departing, join us downstairs, hang out, have some snacks, have a beverage, get to know some of the wonderful people that have been sitting next to you, behind you, in front of you, and around you. If you're online, we're really sorry. We'll miss you. Thank you for being here. Anything else we need to say, Liz?
Oh, just thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. I can't imagine anything better than being in community with all of you. Thank you. I'll see you downstairs.